Hey everybody, Mike Miller with the Herald Times. It's 5 for Friday, where we look at 5 of the most interesting topics in the world of IU sports. We're going to switch up the format just a little bit this week. We're going to look at 5 topics that we touched on in our exclusive interview with IU basketball Tom Crean. Crean invited the Herald Times to his office this week to touch on a range of topics. You can read the full Q&A on heraldtimesonline.com on Saturday. Right now, let's look at some of the highlights. We talked freshmen. 3 are on campus right now: Grant Galon, Curtis Jones, Devontae Green. 2 are not: Freddie McSwain, Deron Davis. They're expected to be on campus later this summer. They both have some coursework to finish up at their respective schools. Rob Judson's actually gone out to visit Freddie McSwain in Kansas a couple times already, Crean said. They're really disappointed he can't be here, but he is taking care of the coursework. Is expected to be on campus later this summer. Grant Galon, meanwhile, has surprised Crean with his ability in the weight room. First week on campus, he was squatting 245 pounds. Not a very big guy, and to come into the weight room prepared, ready to do that, was a nice development for Crean and his staff. Speaking of newcomers, Crean is very excited to have walk-on forward Zach McRoberts in the program. If the name sounds familiar, it probably does. His brother Josh McRoberts played at Duke. He's a former Pacer, now with the Miami Heat. So there's definitely a basketball pedigree there. Zach McRoberts played at Vermont his freshman year, decided after his freshman season that he no longer wanted to play basketball, transferred to Indiana last fall, did not do anything basketball related, just wanted to be a student. Back in April or May, he decided, maybe I should give this another try. He was working out with James Blackmon Jr., who was a former Indiana All-Star teammate of McRoberts, and from there they got a tryout going, and he's been with the program for the last month. It's a very deep and balanced front court this year for Indiana, but despite being a walk-on, given his background and his skill set, don't be surprised to see McRoberts crack into the rotation at some point next season. Back from interviewing with a handful of NBA teams prior to last month's draft, James Blackmon Jr. is looking to have a very big summer. Can't work out with the team. He's not yet been cleared for full court activities yet, but Tom Crean says the biggest breakthrough so far with James Blackmon Jr. this summer has been leadership. Crean says Blackman's starting to understand the importance of leadership coming from him, especially without Yogi Ferrell this season. It's something Yogi Ferrell talked with Blackman a lot about last year, and Crean says Blackman is starting to show those qualities. One thing Tom Crean was adamant about is his desire to see Jawan Morgan become the most versatile player around. Morgan won't be cleared until the fall, but once he's ready to go full court, full contact, Crean wants to use him in a variety of ways. We saw that a little bit last year, working him as an emergency point guard late in the year. But Tom Crean really wants to tap into some of the athleticism that he doesn't think folks really got a full grasp of last season when Morgan was battling different injuries. These are also some important summer months for Thomas Bryant and OG Anunoby, both of whom could be selected in the 2017 NBA draft. Tom Crean talked at length with me about some of the qualities he's trying to bring out of both players this summer. In Anunoby's case, it's about being more of a creator and a distributor. For Bryant, it's a little more tricky. He doesn't have Jawan Morgan to go up against in practice because Morgan's not cleared. Deron Davis, meanwhile, is just not on campus. So Bryant's working a lot with trainers, with the graduate managers, with assistant coaches, just on more individual stuff, things like speed workouts, getting more physical around the rim, things like that. Crean outlines all of that in our Q&A. Again, you can read the full Q&A exclusive with Tom Crean on heraldtimesonline.com this Saturday. I'm Mike Miller.